Today I'm testing Claude Cowork, which is Anthropic's agentic desktop tool. I ask it to do 6 things that no author wants to do themselves. 6 real use cases. Quick context if you haven't heard of this before. You'll need the Claude desktop app. It's available on Mac and Windows right now. You need either a Pro or Max subscription. Pro is about $20 a month. Once you have it downloaded on your computer, you simply click over to the Cowork tab, point it at a folder, and that's it. That's the whole setup. Now, let's go test some stuff. Our first test is to organize a messy file folder. Here's the prompt. Organize every file in this folder into a clean novel project structure. Read the contents of each file. Here's the actual messy file system. You can see there's a lot of different formats. There's a lot of different names. Everything is in complete chaos. There's even one called What If the Cat is a Spy? Everything is everywhere. Let's see how Claude Cowork can clean this up. Claude Cowork has already started working, reading all the files, figuring out a plan, and then it's going to probably ask for permission. One cool thing to point out is up here, we'll get a progress list of the steps, and Claude Cowork is going to cross things out as it completes it. It's very easy. You can let this run in the background as you do other things. You can even switch tabs and run some other Claude Cowork task in another chat. Claude Cowork is already done. It took, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes total. It read all the files, organized everything. It says all 27 original files accounted for. We have a new README. Here's what it did. It read everything to understand it, and then it organized everything into 8 subfolders. Chapters, characters, planning, notes, world building, research, cutscenes, querying, and output. Nothing was deleted, only moved and renamed. Let's go actually see what it did. Look at this, not so messy anymore. We have our chapters, look at that. All organized, let's go back out. We have our characters listed. We have our cutscenes. We have our notes there with great descriptive names so we can know what's actually in there. Here we have output, which is empty right now. Planning, we have all of our planning documents right in here. Everything that has to do with literary agents and querying, it understood by context, by reading the files, that these were literary agents and not characters in the story, and it organized appropriately. We have our research section, and we have our world building, which we'll definitely do some more of later. And then we have Claude MD and a README. So let's check out the README, which is basically going to be like a table of contents for all of your folders and files within those folders. We have the story, here's the project structure, what's in all of the different files here and subfolders. This is great. Speaking of organizing your writing process, if you want to go even deeper with Claude specifically for authors, I just updated my Claude AI Book Blueprint on Ko-Fi with a brand new Cowork edition. It's got all 6 of these use cases broken down with the exact prompts, folder structures, and workflows I'm using in this video, plus bonus prompts for using Cowork throughout your entire writing process. I'll drop the link in the description. Test 2, auto-generate a book Bible. This one's personal because I'm obsessed with book Bibles. For anyone who doesn't know, the book Bible is basically a reference document that tracks everything in your story: characters, locations, timelines, world rules, relationships. It's the thing that stops you from giving your protagonist blue eyes in chapter 1 and brown eyes in chapter 12. The problem is that building a book Bible is incredibly tedious. You have to go through the entire manuscript and extract every detail manually. So I pointed Cowork at my chapter files and said, read every chapter in this folder and generate a comprehensive book Bible. Include character profiles with physical descriptions and personality traits, a location guide, a timeline of major events, a list of world rules or magic system constraints, and a relationship map between characters. Something easy. Once again, we have the progress steps right over here. It's going to read all of the files, synthesize character profiles, compile everything that I wanted in the book Bible, write and save book Bible MD to the output file, and verify completeness against all source files. So not only is it going to do what I asked it to do, it's going to confirm and verify it as well. We'll give it some time to finish, and I'll come back and show you the results. Okay, we're finished. This took maybe 5 minutes or less. Claude Cowork read all 28 files, distilled everything into a single reference document with 6 sections, character profiles, a location guide, a day-by-day timeline with chapter references, the Meridian Group's 6 operational rules, a relationship map covering 7 key dynamics and 15 open threads. Every source file is cited so you can trace any detail back to where it originated. Now, let's view the book Bible. And here we go. Now, you can also find this in your local folders, but this is a sort of a preview. So we have the name of the book, Harbor Dark. And we have the book Bible, a little summary up here. We have the character profiles. It's very detailed. Let's keep scrolling. Our location guide, timeline, even with specific chapters. That's actually really, really neat and helpful. We have our world rules, relationship map, very cool. And here are some open threads and even some continuity errors to fix. More on that later because that's going to be a specific test, but it already is picking that out and I didn't even ask it to do that. Test 3 is about continuity, even though in test 2, Claude Cowork already caught some continuity errors. Let's see what it does when we actually do a deep dive on this specific task. We see already some progress steps, reread all chapter note files, cross-reference details, across files for contradictions, write and save continuity report, and just like last time, it's going to do its own verification pass, basically double-checking itself before it completes it for us, just like a good real-world human assistant would do. Cowork is all done with test 3, the continuity, and here's what it did. It found 24 distinct issues across 9 categories, broken down as 11 critical, 8 minor, and 5 stylistic. The biggest ones to tackle first are listed right there, and each issue includes a specific file and line number involved, plus a concrete suggested fix. Let's check out the file itself and see what it looks like. We're back in the output folder, and we're going to click on the continuity report, and here it is. Now, it's giving this to me in a very unformatted text file. You could ask for it in a much nicer designed and formatted PDF, even an Excel spreadsheet with a nice table so that you can, find everything. You can have it however you want it, but this should give you a sense of how good this Cowork can be for authors. All right, so we have all of these inconsistencies broken down by types like forensic and physical evidence, character description, world rule violations, information knowledge violations, internal contradictions within individual files. There's POV, cross-file contradictions between notes and drafts, missing setups and promises and payoffs, and then there's a summary down here. I asked Claude Cowork to create a much nicer looking PDF, and here we have it. We have the nice color code. I like that. Table of contents. Look at how nice this looks. It's very organized. I love the colors. I love the formatting. A lot easier to read, a lot easier on the eyes than just the basic text that we got before. The missing setups. This is very executable and actionable. Test 4. I asked Cowork to be my developmental editor. For anyone unfamiliar, a developmental editor is the person who looks at the big picture of your manuscript, things like pacing, structure, character arcs, thematic coherence, and then tells you where it's working and maybe where it's falling apart. They're expensive, like really expensive. We're talking thousands of dollars for a full manuscript. So I told Cowork, read this entire manuscript and provide a developmental editing report. Analyze the pacing, where does the story drag or feel rushed, identify the chapters that could be cut or reordered. It's already going. So this is not going to replace a professional developmental editor. A great dev editor brings intuition, industry knowledge, and the kind of gut level story sense that AI just doesn't have, at least not yet. But what it does give you is a really solid starting point. And honestly, some of these notes are genuinely good. I mean, they're gems. This is the kind of thing that would have taken me 3 more drafts to realize on my own. Here's the much better looking report for Harbor Dark. We have all of these different pacing issues, character arcs. So I just wanted to show you that you can also get all kinds of cool visualizations, which takes us to our next test. Test number 5 is about analysis. I'm asking Cowork to analyze the manuscript and create these visualizations. It's actually already done because I had already queued up the message and command beforehand. Look at this. This is crazy. Story analysis, pacing and tension intensity. It goes through all the chapters. Now, this isn't even a full novel, so this is just an example. But imagine if you had your complete story. Notable patterns. Look, word count by chapter, dialogue to narrative ratio. This is an amazing visualization of your story, and you can ask it for anything, like what are the most common words you use? What are plot holes? Point those out in visualizations graphically. We have character appearance frequency, so you could figure out, oh, wait, this character is like hardly ever in the story, or this one character is in way too much. They're dominating. All right, we have emotional arc, composure, control, suspicion, emotional weight, and you can just check and see if this is what you want your story to be like. And this is just a few visualizations, but just remember, you can ask it for anything. Let's move on to the final test number 6. The final test is world building and research. So you can connect Claude Code to a browser extension, Claude browser extension, so that Claude can browse the internet and do research for you and other tasks as well. You can limit what websites it goes to by configuring allow lists inside of the Chrome extension. And you can actually also just ask Claude Cowork on behalf of Claude extension to go to certain sites. So that's what we're doing now. We're investigating and researching port history that we can filter into this fictional port inside of the story. So right now, that's what Claude Cowork is doing research for me. And here are all the sources that it is getting its research from. It's vetting the research, and there's even a research guide. Imagine the possibilities here of researching for your story, for your characters, for literary agents. And just like before, we're going to go over to our file or output file, and we're going to go to the setting research. Looks like we have some really good research here. Again, you could organize this and make it nicer to look at, but this is just a text file, and we have the real port, looks like day to day, daily port operations, worker culture. Scroll down, we have how this maps to Corrigan Bay, and that's sensory details for scene setting to put into your scenes to make the setting come alive and be more like a character in the background. Physical layout of working waterfronts. That'll give you some ideas for scenes and just make the whole story more realistic. There's officer corruption patterns and how that can play out in the story. The harbor master roles. This is really great research that Claude Cowork did, and here are all the sources that you could check out for yourself if you wanted to double check Claude. If you're working on a manuscript right now, or even just thinking about one, Cowork is worth messing around with. The Claude Book Blueprint with the new Cowork edition in the description if you want all the prompts. Subscribe if you want to watch me break more AI tools every week, or at least test them. Thanks for watching. Now, go organize that folder you've been pretending doesn't exist. I'll see you back here for this next video.